Okay, so today we are working on equivalent fractions and how to make an equivalent fraction when there is no model. You can always draw a model, but it gets a little tricky when you get into a lot of parts. So here is the rule for finding an equivalent fraction, okay? You have to multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number, okay? So here I have 1/2. Okay, I have to make it equal to all of these other fractions over here. So when I do this, each one is a little bit like a puzzle, okay? Here I know I have a 2 and a 4, okay? I'm looking for this number right here. Well, I know for it to go from a 2 to a 4, I had to multiply by something, right? This one, I had to multiply by 2 to get there. Well, if my rule for making an equivalent fraction is multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number, what am I going to have to do here? Well, multiply by 2, right? 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2, right? So 2/4 equals 1/2, okay? That's how you find equivalent fractions. Okay, if you look on this next one, we have 1/2 equals 3 something, right? I'm gonna erase that just so it doesn't confuse us. 1/2 equals 3 somethings. We don't know. So what we do know is that if we multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number, we're gonna get an equivalent fraction. So we have to figure out, what did they do from here to here? 1 times what equals 3? Well, 1 times 3 equals 3, right? So if I've done that to the top, I have to do this to the bottom. Times 3 times 3. What is 2 times 3? 6. So I figured out how to make an equivalent fraction. 1/2 equals 3/6. Because I know I have to multiply the top and the bottom by the same number, and it will be equivalent every single time, okay? You just kind of have to figure out what that number is and then do it to the other side. So if I take a look at this one here, 1/2 is equal to something eighths, right? You have to figure out, well, how did you get from 2 to 8? I know 2 times 4 is 8, okay? If I did that to the bottom, what do I have to do to the top? Of course, times 4, that's how you make an equivalent fraction, is to multiply by the same number. So 2 times 4 is 8, 1 times 4 is 4. 4/8 equals 1/2, okay? I got just a few more we can practice. I'm gonna move this a little bit closer though. 1/2 equals 6 somethings, right? I've got a piece of my puzzle here. I've got 1 to 6. I know 1 times 6 is 6. So what do I have to do to the bottom? Well, the rule is multiply the top and the bottom by the same number, okay? So times 6 here, times 6 here. What's 2 times 6? 12. We're gonna get an equivalent fraction every time. Okay, 6/12 equals 1/2. Can you do this one? Okay, another good thing when you're doing halves, you always know that the numerator is half of the denominator. So, what's half of 18? Here, you had to multiply by 9. So here, you have to multiply by 9. That gets your answer, 9/18. And last one, it's kind of easy. Okay, 1 times what equals 50? Well, according to the identity property, 50 times 1 equals 50. Can we do 2 times 50? Absolutely. What's 2 times 50? 100. 1/2 equals 50 hundredths. The rule for finding an equivalent fraction is you're going to multiply the same number times the numerator times the denominator, and that will get you an equal number. All right? Good luck on this one.